Before we start, there is one critical question for husband and wife to consider. Who makes the first move? This is an elaborate lesson that is covered in more detail in the course, Calibrate to Celebrate. Here's the short answer. The one who sees himself or herself as the most mature. You see, you can't wait for your spouse to go first, even though it's preferable. All of us want our spouse to be the first to start doing the respecting or the loving. But can you wait, and can you afford to wait passively for this to happen? Like some kind of neutral bystander. Can a husband wait for his wife to respect him before he becomes more loving? Can a wife wait for her husband to really love her so she can show him respect? The fear, of course, is that you will show love or respect to your spouse, as a case may be, and get a bad response. So you tend to pull back, waiting for the other person to make the first move. But what are your options? Holding back on your love or respect will just widen the gap. But being mature and making the first move could close the gap and slow it down. Think about it this way. It is absolutely ineffective for a husband to shout, "I'm not loving that woman," until she starts respecting me. It is pointless for a wife to scream, "I'm not respecting him," until he starts loving me. Taking the role of the mature spouse and moving first may be risky, but it is very powerful. Rarely can you lose. Think about it. You know if your spouse acted first, you would respond positively. Knowing that, do you really believe that your spouse doesn't have enough goodwill and sense to react lovingly or respectfully if you make the first move? When you touch your spouse's deepest need, almost always something good happens. The key to energizing your spouse is to meet your spouse's heartfelt desire. You can be the mature one who makes the first move towards your wife. And you can also be the first one to make the first move towards your husband, even though you were seriously wronged. As you engage her, you can take the verbal death blows to stop the craziness. Yes, it will be hard and even humiliating, but you can win the heart of your wife. Suppose your wife is being horribly disrespectful. There is no question that you have the right to be offended. But as a man of wisdom, you choose to conceal the dishonor. You hear God calling you to take a different approach, and you can do it. If you keep saying that you can't, then you will persuade yourself that this is impossible. You must distinguish between "I can't" and "I won't." As mature men, we need to take leadership and put this out on the table. We must acknowledge our feelings. We need to feel respected. Yes, however, as we do this, we must acknowledge our wife's feelings as well. She needs to feel loved. This is a fair and balanced approach that allows the two of you to unpack what really happened. Avoiding the whole thing time and again or blowing up each time remedies nothing. Gentlemen, it is true you are not designed by God to enjoy contempt, but He does calls you to take the hit.